Okay, and welcome to this week's Link for Growth South West Herts TV show. No, you're not dreaming or whatever. It is Thursday, and that's because tomorrow is Good Friday when most people are out travelling or already got their long Easter weekend underway with lots of activities and events going on. So this week I'm joined by Neal and Catherine, and the emphasis is very much on sport and also on what to do over the Easter weekend. Chris will hopefully be joining us from the launch of, because he's launching Link for Growth in Scotland this evening. So fingers crossed there that he might well join in a bit later. But in the meantime, the main news is that there's a petition of more than 3,000 signatures arguing for step-free access to TfL at Croxley Station. There's an opportunity to show your dog how much you love them and get it microchipped at a reasonable rate today. And yet again, Station Road in Rickmansworth is going to be closed. As I said, I'm joined by Neal, and Neal has got lots of football for us and a few other bits and pieces as well. Neal.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah, very well, very well.
Good. Now, what are you going to talk about this week?
So we'll be reporting on a rather disappointing result against Stoke last week, and looking forward to. Sorry, not looking forward because there's no football this weekend. It's an international break. But we'd be talking about how you can get tickets to the semi-final and a lot of local sport, including Watford ladies.
Okay, that's great. And Catherine, lots happening, and you're going to take us through some of them, aren't you?
I'm going to take you through the exciting, experience of the Easter extravaganzas coming up. Did you see what I did there? Yeah, lots and lots of things going on in lots of our lovely parks all around Hertfordshire area. Lots of egg hunts, lots of bunny trials to get involved in, and a few cultural things going on as well. So I shall tell you all about those later.
Okay, well, thank you for that, the fantastic Catherine.
Nice.
Okay, first of all, we're going to be doing the news today, and because Tania's not around, I'm going to be doing it. And a wheelchair table tennis player from Watford has been selected as the Mobility Roadshow ambassador. Jack Pegram, who is 24, was also previously been selected as London Olympics torchbearer, which I know Tania took part in the opening ceremony of the London Olympics as a volunteer, so she would have had a lot to in common. But the Jack has been nominated by the charity Mobility Choice, and he will be attending the Mobility Roadshow on the 26th to 28th of May, consumer-focused event for people in the UK living with age discrimination, restricted mobility. Sorry. His first experience of driving took place at Mobility Roadshow when he was 16. Every roadshow ever since, he's discovered new vehicles, new controls, and new adaptations. So, many congratulations to Jack there. Hopefully, he will do a lot of good work and raise a lot of awareness and help get people moving. South West, there's been a petition in to do with Croxley Station, and 3,000 people have signed a petition asking for step-free access to be, and they've submitted this petition to Transport for London. Croxley Station is at the moment only available to the able-bodied people, so and it is quite a long flight of stairs, but from what I remember, but this issue has obviously caused a lot of heat locally, a lot of interest. The petition was presented to TfL by Barry Grant, chairman of the Croxley Green Residents Association, last Wednesday, and several people are saying that it actually makes it very difficult for them to use the public transport and the network train, metropolitan train, if they live in that part of the Watford South West Herts district area, and they need to get into London. They either have to come right into London and get the overground in, or basically take their own car or something like that. So that's not necessarily a good thing. So hopefully, it's part of the refurbishment scheme, and the Metropolitan Line extension, they will put some step-free access in. Now it's an opportunity to show your dog how much you love them. You can get it microchipped today and over the next few days. From the 6th of April, now I'm not a dog owner, so Catherine might have to interrupt and put me straight here because I know that she's got a dog. It's from the 6th of April this year, it's compulsory that all dogs are microchipped. Watford Borough Council can reveal that its animal control officers recovered 88 stray dogs in 2014 to 2015 financial year. Of these, 72 were runaways, were returned to their owners because they were microchipped with the owner's up-to-date contact details. Microchipping can now be done for as little as £10 a head. Sorry, £10 a head will do, at various Watford veterinary clinics, including Vets for Pets at the Century Retail Park in Dalton Way, Avenues Veterinary Clinic in Garston Lane, Medivet in St Albans Road, Park Veterinary Centre in Canterbury Drive, and Park Veterinary Clinic at Catherine's Place in Abbots Langley. So,
yeah, I was going to chip in, so to speak, and say it is an essential thing. You know, I mean, we had it when we got our dog. We had it done almost immediately. You know, when you're spending time and money on a loved and valued pet, you don't want to lose it. You know, it makes an awful lot of sense, and it makes us a lot of sense as well if there's a free microchipping service going on. Take advantage of it. I mean, the cost of this has come down a lot over the years. When we first had Pablo done, it was about 7 years ago, and I think it was about £30 or £40, something like that. But the cost has come down because the vets and the police are very keen that people actually take advantage of the system. And it's a simple little, it's like an injection. It's a tiny injection they have in the nape of the neck, and then it's done. Dog hardly feels a thing, and it means from then on, if the dog gets lost, all the vets have to do is scan it, and all the details are there, and your loving pet can be returned to you.
yeah, and they're saying here it's as little as £10, and obviously it works. If 72 of the 88 dogs were actively microchipped with their records kept up to date, and that's you know that's a 80% return record sort of thing. So that kind of speaks for itself about the value of it, and basically based on what you said, John Speed, the animal control officer for the council, said he loves his job when he gets to reunite lost dogs with their families. Microchips mean they can do. Microchips means that he can do this immediately, which reduces stress and anxiety for both dog sufferer and owners alike. It's trouble to see dogs lonely and scared, missing their family. Show your dog how much you love them and get them chipped today, and keep your details up to date. Well, I think that says it all, doesn't it?
And that last bit is really important as well, because if you do happen to move house, or you know, you change your phone number or something, you've got to let them know. Otherwise, your loving pet can be returned to somebody else's house. So yeah, it's important to note that as well.
Yeah, and yeah, it's amazing. Dogs do become a part of the family, don't they?
Of course. It's not quite like losing a child, but it's close.
Luckily, I've never done either, so I can't comment. Now, Station Road in Rickmansworth, the story that keeps on giving. TfL are going to be replacing the bridge again, or actually replacing the bridge this time. And a lot of this is going to be happening over the Easter weekend. Station Road and the Station Approach bus lane will be closed between 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. all the way through until Tuesday the 29th of March. Homestead Road and Station Approach Road will be closed overnight between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. from Tuesday the 22nd, in other words, basically from tonight, because it's already started. We have talked about this in the past, but it is a big issue if you live down in Rickmansworth. And this closing of Homestead Road and Station Approach will continue each night until Monday the 28th, inclusive. And the A412 will also be closed between 2 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. on Saturday the 26th of March for movement of bridge decks between Victoria Close and Station Approach. So basically, it's going to be chaos down there if you've got to travel down through Rickmansworth in the car overnight into the Rickmansworth town centre. But hopefully this will then be the end of it. I know this is an issue that's been going on since before Christmas, and the traders were up in arms before Christmas, and they've also had another period of closure. But I think what happened is they started to repair the bridge and then realised it's going to be quicker, cheaper to basically knock it down and rebuild it and put in a new one. So hopefully this will be the last disruption for many days and months and years ahead.
I was going to add as well on the mention of bridges, for anybody who was stuck in traffic around Kings Langley yesterday or the day before. There was a report. The reason was that there was a report that there was a crack in the viaduct, the bridge going over those motorways at that point, and it caused an awful lot of tailbacks throughout the town and all the surrounding areas as well. Be reassured that the people who were inspecting it, found it early on, and it should be sort of repairs underway and back to normal. If not now, then very soon. Be interesting to know if anybody's been around that way recently to see whether queues are back to normal. So hopefully not much more disruption around there either.
Okay, that's great. Last week we talked about Rickmansworth and the fact that people are running for sports relief, which was of course all over the TV last weekend and last Friday evening. Three Rivers District Council report that over 300 local people turned out in force last Sunday at the Sainsbury's Sports Relief Mile in Rickmansworth. Runners of all ages were sponsored to walk or run themselves across 1, 3 or 6 mile routes around the Rickmansworth Aquadome. The local organiser, Ryan Watson, said the day was a huge success. It was fantastic watching the community come out and support such a great cause. We sold our entrance in advance and had a great morning of games and activities led by Three Rivers, Play Rangers and Heartsmere Leisure. We're offering free health MOTs and fitness challenges at the same time. Almost £200 was raised on the day through donations and collections, with individual runners' own sponsorships still to be collected. So obviously £200 is a good start. And Mr. Watson goes on to say he'd like to say a big thank you, a massive thank you to all the staff, photographers, volunteers, and to Three Rivers Police Cadets for marshalling the route. Three Rivers District Councillor Eric Bishop, who is also a regular attender at Lingford Coffee in Carpenter's Park at the Park Cafe, was on hand to set off each mile and present medals to each finisher. Councillor Bishop said it was good to see many people turn up and either run or support the runners. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves and the event raised money for a great cause. I'm sure everyone would like to join me in thanking the organisers for all the work they put into arranging such a successful event. There's a whole load of photographs available via various links on the Three Rivers Facebook page, so you can see there some of the people having obviously a very enjoyable time and a lot of fun. And still in Rickmansworth, students are displaying their artwork at Watersmeath. Students from Rickmansworth School are displaying their work. This is A-levels and GCSE students. Are displaying their work at the theatre in the High Street, Rickmansworth, on Wednesday, March 16th. Basically, or did I should say? Basically, the event was a great success. They had lots of people coming along to view their work, and obviously we wish them good luck with their exams, which will be next term, won't they, Catherine?
Sorry, I was just unmuting. Yes, absolutely. Yes, lots of preparation going into all sorts of exams for next year. And of course, a lot of students at the moment are they've been involved with applicant days at universities and really sort of getting to grips with what choices they're going to be making for next year, whether it is a university, whether it's another college of some sort, or whether it's an apprenticeship of some sort. So yeah, lots of decisions coming up for students, and this is really the time of year when they start focusing on those sort of things. So yeah, good luck to everybody. Not good luck, work hard.
Yes, exactly. Okay, sorry that was slightly underprepared, but I had to fill in because we haven't been able to get hold of Tania for various reasons today, but obviously, hopefully, Tania will be back next week. Neal.
Hello.
I'm surprised you're wearing red after last weekend's performance.
Well, yes, it was poor to say the least. Unfortunately, 2-1 loss against Stoke, and my fears of the team not showing up after a big win were founded, unfortunately, and came true. It was the worst performance of the season by a long way, and there's a lot of very unhappy people around, including the manager.
Yes, because he sort of said that every player has a responsibility to deliver, and he's saying what the players can't take their foot off the gas.
Yeah, so we started brightly in the first few minutes. The way Watford play, they play at high tempo and they get into other players' faces and win the second balls. But Stoke play a very similar game, and the minute they upped their work rate, we just dropped off, and honestly, some of the players just didn't look like they wanted to be on the pitch. Even Troy Deeney had a poor game, which is very rare. Igalu just completely uninterested after the first few minutes from a fan's point of view, wasn't even bothering to jump for the ball. And unfortunately, the changes didn't work. Sanchez Flores rested Ben Watson because he was tired, and we missed him drastically. The other players didn't sort of pick up the work rate that he brings to the team, so it created real problems. And I think Sanchez probably had a word with them because I heard rumours that some of the players were bringing suitcases to the ground pre-game because they fly straight off on holiday, so they're a little bit demob happy maybe, and like you said, took their foot off the gas.
Yeah, now, I mean, this is their third successive Premiership defeat, and that's kind of been marked by the win against Arsenal in the Cup. Is it that they feel psychologically they're safe, they can take the foot up, they can ease up? Because it's not, I mean, at the beginning of the year there was reasons why they didn't win that many games, because they're playing against some of the very best teams in the country. Or is it that it's not a question of they feel safe, it's a question of they're not exerting themselves because they want to save themselves for the semi-final game? Or is it a mixture of the two? Or is it just that other teams have sussed Watford out?
There'll be a little bit of everything. Other teams will definitely have worked out the way we play football. But during those periods over Christmas where we lost those games, and before Christmas when we were on a very good run, the work rate was incredibly high. I mean, it was really impressive to watch, and players were walking off the pitch, Capu being one, completely exhausted, and you could see it. You could see they were physically exhausted. I haven't seen that in the players in league games recently, so they definitely dropped off. Some still initially because they had tired themselves out so much because we've used such a small number of players in the squad that the games against Swansea and Southampton, they just looked incredibly tired, and it was a little bit understandable. But in the later games, they've rested up now. They should be back to that work rate, and they haven't. And maybe it is the fact that some players think they're safe, and maybe some players think they're a permanent position in the team. But I can't see the manager letting that last very long.
So yeah, already people are speculating about next season. We'll talk about 1-2 possible players and everything a bit in a moment. But it's emerged recently that Watford FC have put in for planning permission to extend the chairman's lounge. And I think we touched upon this issue a couple of weeks ago when we said that everyone's got to move 12 seats to the left or the right, depending upon where they sit in the upper Graham Taylor stand, to make room for a larger corporate area.
Yeah, I'm sure that's all linked to that. Yeah, if they're increasing corporate seating, they're going to want the facilities to entertain. And the lounge, there is room to extend it, but obviously they need to go through the planning permission procedure with the council. And I would imagine that would go through quite easily. The council have been very supportive of the club.
Okay, and 1-2 people have been sort of speculating about Nathan Akai and the chances of him becoming a permanent Watford player at the end of the season.
Yeah. So, yeah, contrary reports out there. So, some reports saying there's absolutely no chance he's definitely going back to Chelsea, and other people saying he's going to be a Watford player. I think the one fact you can rely on that is if he is to become a Watford player, we're going to have to pay a lot of money for him. Chelsea don't give up their young players cheaply, and they've sold players to Paris Saint-Germain for like 20-year-olds for about 6 million, 7 million. So we're going to have to stump up the cash. But they're rebuilding themselves, so they're going to want to look at him over the summer and see if he fits into their plan. So completely up in the air as far as I'm concerned for next season.
Right. Okay. Something that's less up in the air, in that they both actually were signed by Watford, although they don't play for Watford. Alberto Pandara and Isaac Success are both helping Granada in their improved fortunes in the Spanish La Liga.
Yeah, they're fighting relegation, and there's a lot of excitement about those two players in the club because they brought a real attacking element to the game. They're playing each one either side of a front man, and they're playing on the counter attack. And by all accounts, very good players. I haven't seen them in person yet. Very good players, very skillful, very fast, and they will bring another dimension into Watford next season, where we've had to rely on Troy Deeney and Igalu because of the players we had in the squad. They'll be brought into the pre-season training. Sanchez Forrest will assess if he thinks they're good enough to make the matchday squad, and it just gives that extra dimension where some of the games, for example, Stoke, where we sort of seem to run out of ideas and energy. If you can have players that play a different sort of game, you can have a plan B, which we don't really seem to have a plan B at the moment, unfortunately.
Okay. Semi-final tickets, they're on sale. Have you got yours?
No, I'm being sneaky and hanging on as long as I can because I've had a sniff at a ticket, so I'm waiting to see if that comes to fruition. But yep, tickets are on sale from yesterday for a week for the season ticket holders and people who have been to away FA Cup games. Prices are varying from anywhere from £30 to £60, I believe it is. So the way they're running it, season ticket holders first, and then people with a fan ID who've been to home FA Cup games, and then it'll be people with fan ID who haven't been to any games. So they're trying to keep it fair. The people who have been involved all season get their tickets. There's 31,500 tickets, so you would presume that everyone who has a fan ID who wants to go will be able to. In the past, you've been able to buy extra tickets. You can take your friends along to big events, but we've got a bigger support base now, so they haven't been able to do that, which is a shame. Totally understandable. It's the right thing to do, but it's a shame because for example, I've got friends who have always come to me to the playoff finals, and they are Watford supporters who do come along to games. And now we won't be able to sit together because we'll have to buy our tickets in our window, they'll have to buy their tickets in their window. So everyone's going to have to come to some weird arrangement of meeting up beforehand and then meeting up after. But it's understandable why they've done it.
Sounds like an excuse for a rendezvous in a pub.
Yeah, exactly.
To hopefully celebrate. Now, the men's football season is coming towards the end. I mean, there are 8 games left, Neil?
Yes.
Or
yeah.
10 if we win the cup? Something like that.
A league game. Yeah, we're likely to have a trip to Wembley as well, I would suggest.
Yes, okay, 2 trips to Wembley. Anyway, Watford ladies are just about to start their season. Now, last year they came bottom of the league, but they've already had, during their off-season, they've had quite a turnaround in both staff, on the managerial side, the structure of the team, and also in the number of players. So let's start with the manager. Now, this manager has got international experience, hasn't she?
Yes, she managed one of the Caribbean islands and for quite some time, and several of their youth teams as well. So she's an experienced manager. She's just landed though. She's been doing it all basically via Skype and that up to now. So she only landed earlier in the week. So it'll be interesting to see how she gets on. But she's obviously already had an influence because we've had an influx of players this week. so that's really good. Lots of keepers, which is really strange. We now have 6 keepers on the book, which is very, very strange. Normally I never have 3 keepers on the book, so I presume some of them are going to go out on loan at some stage to someone else. But they seem to have really strengthened the squad. Last season was very, very poor, rock bottom, didn't win anything, unfortunately. But they had a good start yesterday. First game of the season was yesterday against Barnet, London Bees. Started poorly. They were 2-0 down very early on, but scored 2 late goals to pull back, draw, and that's certainly something you couldn't have seen them doing last year. So they've obviously got spirit in the team this year, and hopefully the improved players, the new management. They've also brought in a new general manager, new physio, new backroom staff, and they're now getting supported by the club. So hopefully that'll all go to improving their results.
Yeah, certainly hope so. And Kings Langley.
Got a customer. I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry.
Okay, well, we'll deal with other things, and we'll come back to that. Catherine, shall we start with your atastic hunts?
Yes, okie dokie. Okay, so we've got Easter extravaganza in Canterbury Park. I think this is something that happens most years. So we've got Easter trail, craft activities with chocolate egg prizes. This all starts near the Char Cafe, and this is on Saturday. No need to book, just turn up from 1 o'clock. Should finish around about 4. I'll post up the link to get some more information if you're interested in that. Always a good turnout. Park's a very popular place for
the thing is, on the poster I've seen, it has the 25th.
I'm sure it's the 26th. I've seen it in 2 places as being the 26th.
Okay, and the Canterbury Park website says the 26th. So we're saying the poster is wrong, are we?
I think so. Let's go with the 26th.
Damn graphic
Maybe it goes to the 25th and it isn't there. Maybe they could just send out a Twitter message. But I'm sure it's 26th.
We have asked them to confirm it, but they haven't got back to us. But these graphic designers, you know.
Dreadful, aren't they? Absolutely dreadful. So, moving on. We've got an event going on at the Children. All these things I'm going to mention now are pretty much all happening this weekend. So at the Chiltern Open Air Museum, they build a truly scrumptious day out. So I'm guessing there's food involved. This is happening from the 25th to the 28th, all over the weekend. It's the first opening day for them of the 2016 season. And they're inviting you to come on down and join them for a celebration of all things sweet and sticky. So they're going to have some traditional treats. They're going to have an Easter egg hunt. They're going to see costumed reenactors in the museum buildings. That's always a good thing to see, bringing history to life and discovering the origins of Easter traditions. There's crafts, there's dress-up things. You can make an Easter bonnet. You can take a selfie and send it to their Facebook page. That's something new. So lots and lots of things going on there. Yeah, get yourself down to Chiltern Open Air Museum. I can't see times on here, but I'm guessing if you probably aim for about 10 o'clock onwards, then I'll try and confirm the time at some point. But yeah, that looks like fun.
It certainly does. But there are also other events happening, aren't there? So there's one at London Colney.
Sorry?
There's one at London Colney.
London Colney, yeah, this is Willow's Farm at London Colney. A very, very popular family farm to go and visit anyway. Always something going on there. Yeah, Easter extravaganza for them is, in fact, it's been going on from 19th of March through to the 28th. They've got loads of Easter things going on, lots of family fun things, and they have it on good authority that the Easter Bunny himself will be visiting every day. So they've got another egg hunt, chocolate treats for the kids, pig racing, which sounds like fun, goat milking, there's a fun fair, there's Easter shows, there's panto, there's puppets, there's storytelling, lots and lots of things going on. So tickets are £9.50 on weekdays, £11 on the weekends, and that's at Willow's Farm.
Okay, and Woodside have also got something similar happening.
Yeah, this is Gambardo, which is their soft play area at Woodside. They've got lots of things going on by the sound of it. This is from Friday the 25th through till Friday the 1st of April, so they've got a week-long bunch of activities going on. Again, another Easter egg hunt. There's going to be a lot of hunting going on this weekend. Lots of Easter activities. Easter Bunny is promised to turn up there too. He's going to be busy. He or she is going to be busy this weekend. There's also a cooking class, decorating Easter biscuits, arts and crafts, lots and lots of things going on. They've even got a lucky dip there, which only costs 50p to enter, and you could in fact win some free play days at Gambardo, which would definitely be worth it. Other prizes are slush puppies and free kids meals, and the star prize of a Gambardo annual pass. So definitely worth having a go at the lucky dip there. That's at Gambardo, Woodside Leisure Park, for a week from tomorrow.
Okay, and finally, before we go back to Neal, the last of the hunts is on Ashridge.
Indeed, yes, Ashridge Easter egg hunt. This is now Ashridge is it's on the Ashridge estate in Berkhamsted. Excuse me. And this started on Wednesday. It carries on through till the end of Saturday. Yeah, lots of things going on there as well. Another family fun day out. Easter Bunny will be turning up there again as well. And they've got a quiz going on as well, so you've got to have your wits about you to get involved in that. Yeah, I was just going to try and find a time on there. Again, these people are quite bad at putting times on their things, so I'll see if I can find times and add them to the links when I post them up there. But that's what that one's at Ashridge.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. We'll return to Neal just after all that chocolate for a bit of exercise to run some of that chocolate off and some of those calories off. Neal, Kings Langley, they lost their unbeaten run to Potters Bar the other day, last weekend.
Yeah, it's a shame after a very long winning, well, 10-match unbeaten, but they won 9 of those. Finally come to an end. Oh, sorry, I got a frog in my throat. But the good news is the 2 teams chasing lost as well, so they are still top of the league. But it's the 4th place team won, so it's all getting very tight up there now.
Yeah, I mean, 3-1 defeat is quite unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, against a team they should have won against as well, so they'll be disappointed with that. But like I said, as a footballer, you take the positives when you see that everyone else has lost as well. You know you're still in the hunt.
And they're playing this Saturday, unlike Watford.
Yes, they are playing this Saturday, and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to plug in my PC because it's about to die on me. They are playing.
I'll say that they're playing at home to Godalming Town on Saturday at 3 p.m. Godalming are 11th with 53 points, and Kings Langley are still first with 70 points. So, yeah, it's quite a difference there. So it's a game they should win, and hopefully we'll bounce back after last week's defeat.
Yeah, let's hope they do, because they're having an amazing season, and it would be a shame for it to start going wrong now.
Yeah, and Watford won, rugby. Watford Falerians won. Yet they still managed to lose a place in the league.
Yeah, rugby's a strange game like that. You get so they're 1 point behind the leaders now, but they do have a game in hand. The reason being in rugby is you get extra points for the amount of tries you score and how good your defence is. And the other team obviously had a good result. Falerians did win. They beat Tabard 28. So they were glad to get back to the league after the heavy defeat the week before. But they do still have a game in hand. It's just going to be a really exciting running at the top. I think it's against Richmond and Worth. I can't remember. Richmond, I think, is the top with them. So it's going to be a really tight running.
Yeah, the next game for them, Hammersmith and Fulham. And the next game for them against Hammersmith and Fulham, isn't it? And that's on the 2nd of April. So that's not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah, huge game.
Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for that, Neal. Sorry, it was all a bit busy, but these things happen when we're doing live in the way that we put the show together. Okay, well, thanks for that. We'll come back and talk to you about a charity quiz night a bit later. Rather, Catherine will. Easter Petting Farm, Catherine.
Yes, love it. There's one going on in St Albans this weekend. If you're around in St Albans, Christopher Place will be the place to be. They're having a petting zoo there, and of course the Easter Bunny is there handing out more treats for the children. Free admission, starting at 11 in the morning, finishing at 4 in the afternoon. That's Christopher Place in St Albans.
Okay, and Harpenden Common is going to be busy this weekend.
Yeah, not very many details about this, but this is happening from 25th to 28th of March on Harpenden Common. It just says Family Fun Day Out on the Common. So I'd imagine there'll be probably a fun fair. It's quite a large common and a really lovely setting as well. So I'd imagine they'll probably have fair stalls, activities for children, probably some chocolate involved somewhere along the line. But yeah, I mean, basically you head for Harpenden, follow the crowds because it will be busy down there. But yes, that'll be a nice one as well.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we have also got, for those who are perhaps wanting to burn the calories off their various egg hunts, there is the opportunity to go for a Good Friday history walk tomorrow.
Yeah, this is something a little bit more different, a little bit more cultured perhaps, in Abbots Langley, which is the birthplace of the only English Pope, and once country retreat for Victorian gentlemen and the insane. This is a walk organised by Trevor Baker, member of the local History Society. He's leading a walk back in time, as it were. So he'll be able to tell you all about all the ancient country houses around there, the hedgerows, the asylum for insane paupers, which is now a country park. The village church dating back to the 12th century, and much, much more. This sounds like a really good walk, and probably one of those sort of hidden trails that you don't really know very much about until somebody shows you where it is. This is 25th of March, it's tomorrow, 2 till 4 in the afternoon. Meet at Abbots Langley Village Centre car park. The distance altogether is about 3.5 miles, so quite manageable. Free parking, no need to book, just turn up with some stout walking shoes.
Okay, and Three Rivers have got bucket loads of stuff going on this weekend, haven't they? I mean, it's absolutely crazy what's happening.
I'll mention a few. Yeah, you're right. There's a big list here, isn't there? Again, I'll post the link up, and you can just have a look through for yourselves. There's play schemes for reception age to Year 6 children. These are happening at Divine Saviour Roman Catholic School, Abbots Langley, also Maple Cross School in Maple Cross, and York Mead School in Croxley Green. Places are limited, so you would need to book, but they're great. You know, some of these schemes that happen at the local schools, they're great for kids over the Easter holidays, rather. They happen over the summer as well, and it was great that there are people to put these things on. The kids just love them. There's also Play Rangers activities, which are for slightly older age group, from 5 to 16. Again, you would need to have a look at the timetable, see what's going on, and book those up as well. But there are lots of things available for kids and you know, teenagers to do. There's free swimming at various pools around the area. So James Altham Swimming Pool, Watford Leisure Centre, William Penn Leisure Centre, Rickmansworth School Pool, all have free swimming sessions over Easter from the 29th of March, or some of them are the 4th of April through to the 15th of April. There's free gym sessions at the YMCA Woodlands, at the William Penn Leisure Centre and Watford Leisure Centre Woodside. Again, from the 29th of March to 8th of April, free gym sessions. Well, fantastic. There's free induction sessions with your chosen leisure centre, and free sessions after that as well. Croxley Skate Park. They have to be 8 years or over for this one, but there are also adult sessions, adult coaching. at the skate parks as well. Again, this is from 26th of March through till 10th of April. There are supervised session times listed, but there's also free session times as well, which are unsupervised. I'll post the details up about that, but that's something a little bit different. There's
hang on, before you go on, there's also BMX supervised session times as well. For that.
Oh, right. I can't see that one listed on there, but I'm sure you're right. But yeah, there's a few things that go on at the skate parks, isn't there? And as I say, I like the idea that there's refresher sessions for adults or adult skaters, both old and new. Good way to pick up hints and tips, or just skate with like-minded people. No need to book for those; just turn up. Yeah, that looks really good.
And also, it's worth mentioning, I think they've got cycle helmets that can be hired, because they are compulsory, for a refundable deposit of £5 a ticket during the supervised sessions.
Yes, yeah, I was just going to say, you must have cycle gear, or if you haven't, then yes, as you say, you can hire them, which is great.
Tennis.
Tennis, yes, parks tennis. Low-cost tennis coaching for all abilities. There's sessions taking place at the Scotchbridge playing fields in Rickmansworth, and also South Oxley playing fields. I'll list the dates up there. Low cost, £3 per person, which is a fantastic rate actually. Ages 4 to 10, and yes, at various days and times. I'll post those up. But that's something really good to take advantage of. Normally, you pay quite a bit for tennis coaching sessions, so that's something to note. Films coming up at Watersmeet in Rickmansworth. Another great venue for watching films. Doesn't have to be in the cinema these days. A lot of the theatres are showing films these days. Watersmeet is showing The Railway Children on their big screen on Easter Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. £10 for adults, £7 for children, or £30 family ticket. Which, as I said, I think it's a great idea that the theatres are showing films these days. I'll mention Palace Theatre in Watford a little bit later on, and what they're showing, films amongst other things as well. But,
Breathe.
I was going to mention one other thing. We were in Harpenden a moment ago, and I forgot to mention that I'd happened across Verulamium Museum in St Albans, which is just down the road from Harpenden, are also having an Easter drop-in craft activity day on Saturday the 26th, 2 till 4 in the afternoon. Again, they've got an egg hunt, make an Easter headdress, lots of things going on. It's all very cheap. I think it's £1 to enter. And yeah, another great Easter thing going on. That's at the Verulamium Museum in St Albans.
Okay, and if you want to shout, the place to go is the Colosseum tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. I like what you did there. Yes, Lulu is coming to Watford. She's bringing her live tour, promoting a new album that she released last year, which is called Making Life Rhyme. She performed a sellout tour last year. She's doing another tour this year, again promoting the album, and also telling some stories and anecdotes about her time in show business over a career that has spanned many decades. I'm not going to mention how many. Maybe she'll tell us tomorrow night. But yeah, this is something we're going obviously tomorrow night, as you probably guessed by now. There are still a few tickets available. Ticket prices range from £34 up to £41. There are some very special VIP tickets. Not going to mention how much they are. You can look them up, but there are a lot more. She'll be performing on stage at 8 Watford Coliseum tomorrow evening. But before that, Watford Coliseum do sessions in their lobby, which they call Lobby Live, which is basically highlighting local up-and-coming talented musicians. We saw Calabro on stage on Tuesday night, and were thoroughly entertained by the young chap from Hemel in the Lobby Live session. On Friday, tomorrow night, we've got Minnie Birch in the Lobby Live, and she'll be singing and playing guitar. She's a local singer-songwriter talent. I think she was from Hemel originally. She now lives in Watford, and she's been on tour supporting Joan Armour Trading and the such like in the past. So this will be a really good showcase for her. to a wide audience, a wide local audience, supporting local talent. So we should be looking forward to that.
Okay. And earlier on you mentioned that Watersmeet is one place that shows films, and so does the Palace, and they're showing something on this weekend.
Indeed they are. This is called Youth. It's about long-time friends vacationing in the Swiss Alps and their journey of friendship together. It stars Michael Caine, Rachel Weisz and Harvey Keitel, so a great cast, great story. As you said, on at Watford Palace Theatre. This is on Sunday, 2 showings, 10:30 in the morning, 7 in the evening. Tickets from £8. I say from £8, from going downwards, concessions are £6.50. Rumour tickets, don't forget, if you're a young adult, 16 to 25 years old, you can get a rumour ticket at Watford Palace Theatre, and that reduces your ticket price down to £4, which is an absolute bargain. So that's Youth, which is on Sunday.
Yep. And also we've got a special event on with a delayed live concert from the Royal Opera House.
Yeah, again, I love this idea. You know, you can appreciate the atmosphere, the surroundings of a West End production without actually leaving town. It saves you money on travel. It saves you money on queuing up for really expensive tickets in the West End, and you can get the whole atmosphere from Watford Palace Theatre. This is a delayed live production from the Royal Opera House of Boris Godunov. Now, Boris Godunov was he was a Russian Tsar who reigned over Russia between 1598 and 1605. It's the whole story of what happened to him, and obviously in this creative collaboration, new production of Mussorgsky's, that's a tricky word to say at this time, it's been a long week, Mussorgsky's historical masterpiece. Yeah, this will be on Sunday. This is in between the 2 film showings at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. £15, no concessions for this one, but £15 is a darn sight less than a West End cost of a ticket, so definitely worth looking into that.
Yeah, yeah, and live opera, I've only been a couple of times, but oh boy, it is out of this world experience.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, yeah.
And if you like theatre and you like music, there's no excuse not to go. Okay, different type of music now at the Horns this weekend with 3 gigs.
Yes, absolutely. A completely different type of music, yes. Tonight we've got the Zimmermen, which is a Bob Dylan tribute band, 6-piece band. It's free to get in. The comments range outstandingly talented and enthusiastic, so I would imagine that would be a fabulous night. That's on, as I say, this evening from 9 till late finish, 1 in the morning. If you fancy something on Saturday night, they've got the Soul Enforcement Bureau. This is Soul and Motown covers, an 8-piece band, and again it's free to get in. Timeless classic soul songs to all the good people coming along. This is fine in the evening again till 1 in the morning, and then Sunday the 27th at 9 o'clock in the evening, they've got Tailgater. And this is something a little bit more rocky, a 4-piece rock band. They billed as, oh yeah, Bank Holiday Sunday, or Saturday Part 2, as we like to call it. So that sounds like a bit of party rock for anybody who wants to rock the Sunday bank holiday away.
Right, okay. And we alluded to it a bit earlier on, there's a quiz evening at Reason this evening.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Oh, I've got a page here somewhere about this. So this is a charity quiz night at Reason. Starts at 7:30, finishes at 10. It's organised by Gemma and Lauren, who you can often see helping out in the shop. They've made a commitment to raise £1,000 for their chosen charity of .com, which is a children's foundation. And this event is one of the events that they've organised to raise money for that. It's be a super fun quiz night. I think it's £5 on the door to get in, with a minimum. So I didn't say £5 on the door to get in. Get your tickets beforehand if you're in the shop beforehand. But I mean, we're on the night now, so just turn up. It should be really good fun. Excuse me. Yeah, get yourself along for a good quiz night.
Yep, so have many people booked in, Neil?
I haven't been handling it. I've been leaving it pure for Lauren's hands. But yeah, I do believe there's a few people coming along, so it should be a fun night.
Okay, great. And are you Quizmaster?
No, I'm actually taking part.
Okay, so okay, well, good luck.
Yeah, it's not my forte quizzes, but I'll come up with a few answers.
If there's some football questions, you might be all right.
Yeah, I do get some of them.
Now, Neil, you were saying earlier that Lauren's trying to raise £1,000 for this course, so for this particular charity in the next 12 months.
Sorry, I've just got a customer again. Sorry.
Okay, right. Well, Neil was telling us before we came on air that Lauren's hoping to raise about £1,000 in the next 12 months for this particular charity. So no doubt we'll be hearing lots more about what's happening and not happening with her fundraising events between now and the end of March next year. We were hoping to get Chris on the show. Chris is on his way to Scotland. Link for Growth is having its first event in Scotland this evening. Unfortunately, Chris is still stuck on the M6 somewhere up near Carlisle and can't quite get to us, so that's a bit of a shame. But it's at the Moor Park House Hotel in Kilburn. I hope that pronunciation is right. As I said, this is the first ever Link for Growth event in Scotland, which is why Chris isn't around today. He was hoping to join us and explain a little bit more about it. The format and everything is going to be very similar to what's happening now, and I know that it's something that Chris is very excited about and wanted the opportunity to come and talk to everyone about it. But obviously he can't because he can't get a signal because he's still driving on the M6 and going north.
Could be caught up with some holiday traffic up and down the roads, I think, today as well. People disappearing for the weekend. So good luck, Chris.
Yeah, I think he needs it. I really do. And let's hope he has a good first meeting and a safe trip back home tomorrow. Slightly less distant Link for Growth events taking place next week in South West Herts are fairly limited, and that's due to the fact that it's kind of like the 5th week of March. But tonight there's Link for Business at the Fresh Shop in Market Street, starting at 6:30. Last time I looked a little bit earlier, there were still a couple of tickets left, and I do mean a couple, just one or two. So if you want to get in there and book, you've got to be quick. So good luck to Jean Flower, who's hosting that event this evening and kicking the whole Link for Business initiative off in Watford, which is an initiative that has been going for about a year now, and one to test events were held earlier on. You may remember we spoken to a couple of people about their local Link for Business events and how they've gone, and we're hoping now in Watford to catch up, in South West Herts we're hoping to catch up. Next Friday, a week tomorrow, on the 1st of April at 12 o'clock, so you should be safe from any April Fool's pranks, it's the CSI lunch. This is always usually a good event, and recently the turnout has been huge. It's been getting on for over a dozen people, which is great to see. The event is at Scotsbridge Mill, which is on Scots Hill, between Rickmansworth and Watford, and that will take place from 12 till 2 next Friday. The other event I was going to tell you about briefly is Central Hearts have their Link for Coffee on the last Thursday of each month at the Beach House on St Peter's Street in St Albans between 10 and 11:30. St Peter's Street is kind of like the main street in St Albans. The Beach House is a very nice venue. They always make Link for Growth feel very welcome there. And I know that Danny would like to see as many people as he can from South West Herts and the surrounding districts. So if you want to pop along for informal networking with and finding out a little bit more about what's happening in the Central Hearts. So if you say live in the Radlett area or something like that, it might be a location that's easier for you to get to than, say, Watford. Now, Catherine, before we start the restaurant review, we missed out that there was one other Easter event, and it seemed daft to put it in earlier on. So let's talk about it now, and then we'll do the restaurant review.
Are we talking about the Great Missenden Food Festival by any chance?
We are, yes.
Yeah, this looks like a really good, fun thing to be at. Great Missenden, I don't know whether some of you will know, is it Missenden Abbey that hosts one of the Link for Growth events that we hold there. So Great Missenden is, you know, obviously an area that some people know quite well. They're holding an Easter food festival featuring up to 150 exhibitors, including artisan food and drink, local producers, street food, craft and gifts. This is on from the 25th to 28th of March, so all over the weekend, from 10 till 5, 6 o'clock finish on Saturday. They're going to have celebrity chef Simon Rimmer. Anyone who's a big fan of Sunday brunch in the mornings, like me, will know that Simon Rimmer is one of the hosts and chefs on the show, and always good entertainment, always good fun, great food too. So he's going to be there, and they've also got Ian Cumming, who was the finalist on the Great British Bake Off last year. So they're going to be there doing some cookery demos and chatting with the audience. There's free cook-alongs, barbecue workshops, free skills theatre, including molecular gastronomy classes, if that's your thing. Lots of free activities for children as well. Cooking sessions, food science, sew and grow activity tent. So great things for kids to get involved in. Entry is £4.50 or £4 for seniors, or children are just £1, or you can get a family ticket for £10. So that's Great Missenden Food Festival, 25th and 28th of March.
Yeah, I noticed it's got barbecue lessons here. Does this mean that no more burgers? Or should I say burgers?
I don't really know, to be honest. I guess we'll just have to go along and find out.
Okay, well, on that tasty note, it's time for the restaurant review, Catherine.
Indeed. Well, now this is a place that I have mentioned before, but not in as much detail. I've lumped it together with Watford Coliseum generally. Now, a lot of people know that, you know, Watford Coliseum is one of my favourite places. It's on our doorstep. It's a brilliant venue these days. Since it was all refurbished, they've got some really good acts, some really good names coming to entertain the people of Watford, and all different sorts of things as well, whether it's music, dance, musical theatre, all sorts of things are there these days. But what they also have is a really good restaurant. Now, they do pre-dining menus these days. They do a set menu for 2 courses for £20.50. They do 3 courses for £24.50. And we were there on Tuesday, and I just have to give them a shout out, to be honest. When we actually turned up there, it turned out that our booking hadn't actually gone through, so we didn't actually have a table reserved. But the poor restaurant manager, who was quite stressed before we turned up, did his absolute utmost to accommodate us. Rather than being in the actual dining room itself, which was chock-a-block and fully booked, we were just outside at the door, so off the main lobby area. And he brought us out there. Now, we weren't the only ones. There was another couple that he put out there as well. So we were sort of forming the restaurant without the restaurant. But it was incredibly accommodating. I just have to give a really big thank you. The menu was fantastic. We enjoyed an absolutely beautiful ham hock and guinea fowl terrine with a lovely spiced plum chutney. And then for our mains, we had a roast rump of lamb with broad bean and mushroom fricassee, gratin potatoes, baby carrots, and red currant sauce. Didn't have time for desserts. Bit full up by then anyway, and we were heading off to see Calabro. But I would highly recommend their pre-show dining. Everything happens very quickly. You're always finished in time for the show, and they're incredibly accommodating. Really nice, friendly people.
Good, good. Well, on that high note and a culinary note, it's time to say cheerio and to say to everyone, have a good Easter, and we hope we've helped you find one or two events that may interest you to do over the Easter weekend. And on that note, it's cheerio, and we will be back next Friday. That's the 1st of April. So it's the usual date and time and everything. So we'll look forward to seeing you then, and until then, have a good Easter and enjoy the long weekend. Bye-bye.
Cheerio, look out for the Easter bunny.
Bye-bye.